Oh my goodness.
See, he gets it. He's aware.
Never should have brought the two of you together.
Well, to be fair, you shouldn't have.
It's true.
Anyway, welcome to We Have Fun. Guys, guess what? Guess what? You're never going to guess
Or
this.
should we say, guessed what?
We have a friend with us.
Guess who?
Oh.
See, that's why he gets paid for this, and you're a
Guess
schmuck.
who?
Get
Who?
Hello. Oh, I do characters now. I just do
This
characters.
is a horrible time to
he's-
find out.
Hello. My name is Helga. It's like that, but it's an hour.
Did you say Helga or Hedger?
Oh man, it doesn't matter. But it's 1 hour uninterrupted.
Yeah, guys, it's Collin Chamberlin. Everybody give a round of applause for our friend Collin Chamberlin, friend of the pod.
I'm very excited to be here.
You're
At
goddamn
Collin
right.
Comedy.
On this pod.
Yeah, your first ever guest feature on this specific podcast.
Yes, and the podcast is called We Have Fun.
Yes.
And it's about fun stuff and hobbies and crafts, and we have fun.
Yeah.
And it's all about the who's, what's, and the has-beens and the what's it happenings.
He's got it.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing we got direction 20 episodes in.
Yeah.
You know?
Sorry for having to struggle along with us for the first 19.
Well, I listened to all of them in preparation.
Yes.
Back to back to back to
Uh-huh.
back to back to back to back.
I mean, why
And-
wouldn't you?
And
That's a solid
what I picked
35
up,
hours
That's what I
of
picked
material.
up the most.
Right. So, just curious, as a big fan of yours, and you're obviously a big fan of ours,
I love
because
this show.
I go back and
this
forth on
show is called We Have Fun.
yeah.
Yes.
Which episode would you say might be your favorite?
This episode, of this pod,
Mm-hmm.
the one. Do you remember the one where you guys were like, "No, you're wrong," and then you're like, "No, but you're wrong." That
You know what? Based off of the fan interaction, I know for a fact that episode doesn't exist.
We've
I really like that one. Oh, I like the one where you were all like, "I'm gonna sit over here," and Kevin sits over there, and you guys the banter one.
That was a good one.
Oh, you know what though? I do remember the
love
banter
that
one.
was a good
That
one.
was a good
I
one.
was a
love
good
the
one.
banter
That was a good one. So, where do you stand on the filthy improv crews, troops, if you will, as
Oh, wow.
as a stand-up comedian?
Like they're dirty.
Well, I mean, like they're all dirty. That's why they're doing
They
improv.
need to bathe.
Go on.
I don't mind it. I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really associate with it, but I think that great improv is hard to beat. Like when you watch people improvise and it's really good, it's like, wow,
Right.
this is special. The problem is there's just a lot of bad improv. So you see a lot of, I mean, I tried, I hated it, but if you could do it well, more power to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could be way more successful as a really great improviser than a stand-up comedian because you get cast on a show or you write or you're on SNL,
Yeah.
a movie, literally anything.
Yeah, I mean, you do a Second City or Groundling stint. You're good, man.
You could be great.
And you're in
But it's
there.
also though, I think it's
Like swimwear.
unless if you're doing improv and you're not on like a touring company, like stand up is better because you could still make money locally as a comedian and work.
Yeah.
But if you get famous as an improviser, I mean, you could be Will Ferrell or Kristen Wiig
Yeah.
You
Or
know.
Colin Farrell.
or Colin Farrell,
Or Colin Firth.
Yeah.
Colin Firth.
Or Firth.
Come on. Come on. Come on. They're counting on you.
Firth to succeed
The babies are very mad at you.
in
That's crazy.
improvisation.
All right,
I should leave.
pull it together.
We're done here.
I'm going to go to bed. You guys.
Tibet.
Taipei, Taiwan.
Yeah.
Continue.
What I didn't like, I don't like because of the group-centered thing. I like to do my own thing, and I like to have. I mean, it's very self-centered that if I do well, I like that it's all on me.
Right.
But on the opposite end, if you do bad, it's also on you. So if you do bad, I guess with an improvising group, you don't admit it.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
You have each other to lean on.
I think that's true, though.
Well, I mean, I'll
Because it's
just...
always like, it's, you know, it's like your boy J.K. Simmons said in Whiplash.
He's my boy.
The worst I'm
Not my time.
paraphrasing. Yes. The worst,
Not quite my
and
time.
I'm paraphrasing, of course, but the worst 2 words in history were "good job." It's something to that effect.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely...
And like if you go up there and bomb, they're just like, "Hey, you had a great night. It was a bad crowd." You just defer blame.
I'm not around it enough to see like if there are any critiques or notes. From what I've seen, there wasn't. But I also only took 1 class.
Well,
and I was like, I think I'm good.
Well, if you're not great after the first class, then you just fucking give up.
Well, I took 1 8-week course and I did the show, and I just remember thinking, I don't ever want to do a show with this many people again.
I've been to a lot of those shows.
You have.
And most of them were great. Like, honestly, it's a great time if it's a good group of people.
Now, that's down at the Arcade.
Yeah.
We go
Arcade Comedy Theater.
Yeah. Which is
BYOB.
Yeah,
so.
usually a great time down there.
Because it's BYOB.
I like what you said it's usually a big time.
But I'm not done yet.
God damn it.
I will say is that
Get the soapbox!
it seems very safe because I feel like the crowd is often padded out with other improvisers who laugh a little bit louder than necessary.
All right, so maybe that's true, but having been to various open mics, if you're in the biz, as we say in the biz, and you're watching the biz being done, I've noticed that it's often a more quiet crowd.
See,
Well,
I'm a quiet laugher.
But before we get there, I want to go back to a point that you said, just to play a little devil's advocate about like being self-centered and relying only on yourself. Would you see any parallels between an improv troupe kind of living and dying by one another and having a kind of like a billing for a show, for a stand-up show, and everybody knowing one another and kind of having to follow like a monster or go up after somebody who's not quite as talented because they kind of set the course and set the tone for the crowd before after you go up.
Similarities?
Well, I'm thinking maybe.
I think the similarities, here's what I'll say. I'll answer the question with a different answer because I'm not totally sure I know how to answer the question. And this is a great interview trick where you state what they say kind of and then you switch it. So I think the similarities between the two. No, I think the similarities is that they're going up there with the intention of being funny, and anybody that really tries hard to be funny, I will always root for because it's very hard. I think our philosophies differ on how it can be done, but at the end of the day, if you're making people laugh, you have accomplished it. I am of the school of you have to really be very self-critical and analytical to get better. Some people are more of, it's more of a growing process and it's more positive affirmation. And I don't know what's right or wrong. That's the great thing about comedy is that nobody, if you're doing it and you're getting people to laugh, nobody can tell you you're wrong. There's a million ways to be right. Larry the Cable Guy has just as much money, if not more, than,
Jeff Foxworthy.
Jerry Seinfeld, or Jim Gaffigan, or
that French guy.
Yeah, that French guy, right?
Cool.
There's no if you make people laugh and people want to come see you, it's hard to beat.
That's meaning.
That's a great diplomatic answer.
He's rooting.
Collin Chamberlin, 2020.
That means he's rooting for us, Kevin.
Hey,
I am rooting for you guys. I hope this takes off.
And the 4% of people that listen to us in France. Shout out to France.
It doesn't take off.
1.38% of our viewership in Germany. Yeah. Like, you love to see it. We're international, babies.
We are on 2 continents.
Unbelievable. 3 countries.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Which ones?
France and Germany.
And also America.
Yeah. Largely America.
Yeah. But we have a European audience.
We're still trying to figure out all the different states. So, like Texas makes sense. Shout out to the fam.
Yeah,
yeah.
That makes sense. Illinois is a real wild card.
Yeah.
Because it has a pretty large number.
Yeah.
I don't know who's in Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Chicago, I guess.
We're pretty big in Chicago. I've always said it.
Yeah.
Here's what I think we should do.
What should we do, Doug? Steer us, sir.
We know Collin is an international celebrity for being a comedian.
Right.
Nope.
But maybe our listeners don't know that. So I'm going to give a little background on who Collin is.
Okay. I would love this.
I cannot wait for this.
Collin Chamberlin.
Yep.
That's who you are, buddy.
Chamberlain.
He decided he wanted to pursue comedy at a very young age. When we were in high school, in fact. And he's sitting down at a lunch table.
Oh my god.
And I'm standing nearby. And he calls to me, "Hey, Douglas." Because that's what he called me, because he didn't know me that well yet. I think.
I don't know.
And he said,
to get your attention, I think.
And he said, "Hey, can you throw this empty lunch bag away for me?" And I said, "Sure, buddy. I'll do that for you." So he tosses it to me. And I, being a world-renowned volleyball player, spike it back down at him, where it strikes a can of Coke Zero, I believe, that was sitting in front of him, which proceeded to spill all into his lap. And that's when I said, "Hey, that's comedy, babe." And he knew then. This is what he wanted to do. Did I get all the details right?
Yeah, that's actually exactly what happened. I really hated high school. Yeah,
I think I carried you through it.
there are a lot of people where if I found out I don't want to say anything too dark, but if someone said,
we can redact names.
Remember that person from high school? They're not with us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go, oh, good.
Mm.
Good, because they were a real detriment to society. Yeah, that was very true. You did spill it all over me.
Yeah, that was funny.
Doug McGlynn, catalyst to the stars.
Well, the real story is then I went and told someone else to go point and laugh at Collin and make fun of him for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wasn't the bully.
You were...
I was the puppet master.
Doug McGlynn, catalyst to the bullies.
And look at us now.
Are we sharing stories? Is that what we're doing? Are we sharing stories about each other?
I mean, we got an hour,
We
so
can share stories.
You can do whatever you want.
Wait. I'll hold my
There's
cards
nothing you
until-
can say about me
that they don't already know.
that I don't have the power to edit
Oh,
out.
that's true. Well, I'll save it. I'll save it until I really need it. I just spilled dressing on my shirt.
It wasn't me this time.
I wish they could see it.
I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah. Oh man, a lot of good ones.
Yeah, so generally we do just kind of shoot from the hip here, so if anything pops into the old bean...
That you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because otherwise I'm just going to rapid fire ask you
Well,
questions.
I don't have anything to promote or talk about or do.
Hey, you got shows this weekend.
I have shows this weekend at the Improv, but this will come out, I don't know, in a month.
No, tomorrow, hopefully.
This will come out tomorrow. So Saturday is mostly sold out. But if you're listening tomorrow at the right time, come.
Tomorrow being January 31st, 2020.
Whenever
The
you're
Pittsburgh
listening.
Improv
Yeah.
for your French listeners who might be able to make it tomorrow.
Which Jerry Seinfeld notably described as woof on an
true.
episode of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. So
It's true.
Memories.
It used to be a real wolf club. It's better, much better now.
It's very nice inside now.
Very nice.
I missed the brick wall, I'm going to
I
say
do
it.
miss the brick wall. I don't like the screen.
Mm-hmm. You should tell them that
Bump
tomorrow.
into it a lot.
I'm a traditionalist.
And I worry I'm going to break it. Because I lean on it.
And you couldn't break the wall.
I couldn't break the wall. I tried. Yeah, the shows will be good, and I'll be back in February for the Lamp Theater.
He's his own hype man. The shows will be good.
The shows are great. The shows are
So help
going
me
to
God.
be great. And if they're not great, we take it very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of shame.
Do they still have good cheesecake there?
No. They do have good cookies. The menu changes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They had some
The
great
comedy
cheesecake.
club menus
one
are
time I was
really sad.
there. Yeah.
It's just a lot of like
Loaded
variations
nachos.
of-
Yeah. Well, I mean,
taco.
when I worked there was like a big paged menu, and people only got like 3 things.
Yeah.
So
You have like 20 minutes to eat.
Yeah. Well, I usually just get a salad. It's hard to mess up a salad.
A Cobb salad.
I do like a Cobb salad. Hold the blue cheese, but I don't want to complain. But they did put the blue cheese on the salad, so I had to eat around it.
Ugh. You hate to see it.
I hate it.
Divas.
I hate blue cheese.
This is why I hate comedy.
You're a ranch guy?
Divas.
I like ranch, but they put blue cheese crumbles on it.
Oh, no.
Crumble.
So it was everywhere. And you try to flick them off, but the essence is there.
I was going to say, I was a little bit concerned when you were like, I tried to pick the blue cheese off, and I was like, what kind of Adonis over here?
Yeah.
Siphoning it.
But anyway, the shows will be fun if you're around.
If you're listening from outside.
Have some nachos. Just go to the club no matter what.
Perhaps you're at Sing Sing.
Or
Dave and Buster's.
Or whoever's there.
Play
just
some skee ball.
Just go.
Go to Rock Bottom.
Get out of your house.
Honestly.
Get out of your house. Stop sitting and watching whatever show that is fulfilling the love that you did not get as a child. I promise you it will not help.
Honestly,
go interact with
you's been out for 3 weeks. Just fucking go leave your house.
I've never watched it. I'm very against shows that are very... And it's not a hipster thing. It's a thing of I like junk food. I like fast food, I like junk food, and I like The Office. I like stuff that I can consume all of the time that is not like people... Like, you know, when they ask me my favorite movie and I tell them like Pirates of the Caribbean... They're like, no, but I say, sorry, the Rush Hour trilogy, Wild Hogs.
And then they understand.
And then they're like, oh, he has no taste. That is true. I have no taste.
Hey,
so stop telling me.
I don't need you to disparage the Rush Hour trilogy.
I love it. I really think
Collin?
it's the funniest trilogy I've ever seen.
I'd agree with that.
It's so funny.
Speaking of which, the news that I got excited about that I was going to tell Yins before we started recording. Now I can tell you because this is a natural segue. Lethal Weapon 5.
Wow, really?
They're doing it.
And I like a buddy movie, you know?
Oh, buddy movies are the best. Especially if you watch them with your buddies.
Like did you see Parasite?
No, not yet.
I haven't seen it, and I don't think I'll ever see it.
Because it's not a buddy cop movie.
It's just like, I don't want to watch a movie called Parasite. It's upsetting.
Okay.
You know?
Well, I mean, that's a take.
What if it was Pair of Sights and it was about glasses?
If it was called Pair of Sights and it was about two either attractive women or attractive men that had to go to like a boot camp, then I would watch that.
Interesting.
You know,
very
it's
specific.
Like Pair of Sights, you know, they look at these lookers, and then they end up in boot camp or police academy. It has to be a situation.
I think you're thinking of Stripes.
Yes, I like
what
a movie
movie
where people are in a situation where they go, "How did we get here?"
Right.
I like that.
I think we're due for like a Police Academy 19.
Yeah.
Any day now.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll get
apparently
announced.
Getting another Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, and there's another coming to America too.
That's true. Eddie Murphy back on the scene.
I'm happy for him, but at the same time, I just want the goddamn comedy special.
I just want him to release more music.
Please don't.
My baby funny on the time pot. I hope Eddie Murphy doesn't hear this and sue us.
What a jam that is, though.
Such a good song.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in your head the rest of the night now.
So good. That he has the catchiest songs. Party all the time.
Didn't Rick James produce that?
He sure did.
He has Beverly Hills Cop theme song. Yeah. He had that ice cream song in his special.
Ice cream paint job.
Yep. Anyway.
Thanks, Doug.
What if you found
Thanks for coming in clutch with that title.
What if, like, one of these days at a Gucci Mane concert, I don't even think that was Gucci Mane, but he did.
I like how you looked at me like I could confirm or disconfirm.
Either way.
Is it Gucci Mane?
I don't think it was. But I'm going to stick with Gucci Mane because it's funnier in my mind.
Okay.
At a Gucci Mane concert, he just takes a mask off as though he were either in Scooby-Doo or the Mission Impossible series, and it's Eddie Murphy underneath. And it's been Eddie Murphy this whole time.
I mean, that'd be funny.
But he created a new identity to do rap because he didn't think it would look good if he was in a children's series like Shrek, and then also giving us these hard-hitting street truth raps.
Right. I don't know how to respond to that, but I'm going to take it in a different direction. Did you see recently that picture that said Trippy Red looks like Greta Thunberg cosplaying as Lil Wayne.
I feel like I saw... Yeah, I did see that.
And it's 100% spot on.
You know, my
Ice
favorite
cream paint
thing
job was by Duro.
about this podcast is, and this is a compliment to the both of you, is how you both have... You're both essentially having a conversation with yourselves. And you're just taking turns of whose part is it. Doug will say something about Gucci Mane
and Eddie
Murphy that only makes sense to himself, that he's been sitting on for a little bit. Kevin will respond, not acknowledging it at all, with another sentence, something that he's talking about. Doug will then go throw back to Doug, and Doug will say, as Hove once said, and he'll go quote, and then Kevin will then respond with, I love that, because you get all these dumb podcasts where they're listening to each other and they're having conversations. This podcast is different. It's two guys. Imagine if you were on a park bench between two people on Bluetooth headsets. That's what it would be like. If you were sitting next to two people on two different Bluetooth phone calls. That's what this is doing. That's what this is like. I like that. It's different.
Woo! I got a chuckle.
I can't wait to wind up in a joke someday.
It's really good.
Oh, man.
And I love it.
It's happened to me a few times. It's great. It's always a fun surprise. Wow.
Well, then, since we've been properly eviscerated.
It's true. He pulled a Jon Stewart on us. We're the 2007 Republican Party, and he's Jon Stewart.
Oh, my God.
It's high praise. Well, then, what would you like to talk about?
Let's talk about these nice boots of yours.
Thank you. I would love to talk about them. Well, I was having a boot dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very hard for me to make decisions. I don't know if you guys have this feeling too, but I always feel like if I'm going to buy a boot, I have to research every boot possible, and then I'll go to buy it and I'll say, I don't deserve this. I shouldn't get boots. Mm-hmm. What am I doing buying boots? Who do you think you are, Rockefeller? And I'll be like, my shoes are fine that I have. And then I'll go outside, my feet get wet, and I'll say, I wish I had some boots. So there was a pair of boots I really wanted, and they were like $250. Mm-hmm. And I said, boy, I bet they're great boots.
And he said, I'm a rich celebrity now.
And I said, I am living by the skin of my teeth in an apartment that should be condemned. And so I'm not buying these $250 boots, but I did buy these at DSW for about $70. They look similar to what I like. They're insulated. They're waterproof. You gotta have a good boot.
DSW is great.
DSW is really good. I mean, it is. I've gotten most of my shoes there, I think, over my adult life.
I'd argue it's the designer shoe warehouse.
Would you?
Is there any competition?
Well, literally any other designer shoe warehouse.
Yeah, other DSWs.
I don't like any, other shoe stores I don't like. DSW has everything, and they have a lot.
Other shoe stores feel like they don't cater to me.
Yeah.
It's like they cater largely to 12-year-olds.
12-year-olds or sneakerheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could get that second point.
Then it's Finish Line. They have 4 pairs of Nikes.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's always a pair of sandals left out of a box.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
So with Foot Lockers and Finish Lines and stuff like that, and something that I've noticed more distasteful than the employees that work there, because I feel like I can shoe shop by myself. I don't need somebody. I'm really only looking for aesthetic. I don't need somebody that doesn't want to be there to come and lecture me on what that shoe does for me and my lifestyle.
Are they still doing that?
They're still doing that. Well, really more often than not, now they're just looking at their phone and giving you side eye. But not that it,
that felt pointed.
Not that it bothers me, but it's just why are you selling T-shirts and clothes at a Foot Locker?
Yeah.
I didn't come in there for a basketball jersey. I'll get that at Dick's, or I'll get it from the Chinese.
With that said, I would buy one of the ref shirt uniform.
Oh, well, if they sold their uniforms, I'd buy that, sure. Yeah. But
Popeyes is selling their uniforms now.
Are they?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was the full regalia and then walk in there and be like, I'm Mr. Popeye, give me free chicken.
Mr. Popeye. Yeah, I don't know. I was on the hunt. I was on the hunt for some Nikes last Christmas time.
Were you like Mac Miller, Nikes on my feet?
Oh, R.I.P.
Truly.
But
Why would it happen?
We'll tell you when you're older.
You
just lost Kobe. You're not ready for this.
Yeah.
What happened to Kobe?
Hey.
You. And there's our first edit, Doug.
Wait till he finds out about Prince.
Fingerprints?
I mean, I don't think it's legal now.
Oh no. Oh no.
But
So did you get the Nikes?
I didn't because they didn't have any 10s anywhere. I guess 10's like the most
You're
sought.
not a Nike guy either.
Well, I mean, I wanted something a little flashier, and that would go with like a, not like a very standout uniform type of thing, but just something that I could wear daily. I was looking for a daily driver,
Right.
And I don't remember what I was looking for. I think I was just looking for a pair of Air Maxes. And
Oh, good.
This is what we do.
this is it.
I go through shoe phases like every couple months. I'll be like, I need a good tennis shoe that looks nice, and then I'll get a shoe and I'll be like, this is not what I wanted, And I don't know. I always have buyer's remorse.
The shoes I have now, I've had for 2 years. The insides are.
You're wearing socks right now.
Oh yes, I don't wear shoes in my house because I'm not filthy.
Well, sucks.
Well, I leave the shoes. I prefer when I go to someone's house and they say, "Can you take your shoes off?" I'm almost more offended.
Yeah.
Because it's what they're telling me is I have to trust their floors.
Yeah.
That's very braggadocious to think that your floors are so clean.
Mine could be.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave my shoes on.
Yeah.
And it's also good for a quick getaway.
That's true.
Do you have to stop and put your shoes on?
Are you trying
There's
to make a
always
quick
the
getaway?
thing where you're trying to slip your shoes on while you say goodbye, and you're doing like the one leg up in the air. You're like trying to just slide it on without untying it. It's horrible. It adds an extra 5 minutes to the leaving.
Well,
Leave the shoes on. Have your jacket. I'll leave my jacket on if I can.
the full winter coat.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just stopping by for a couple minutes. I got a thing.
Yeah. I'm always just trying to set myself up to leave quickly.
Next time we're at some sort of function together, I'm going to be watching your feet.
Watch them.
To read you.
Watch my feet. If they start pointing towards the door, that means it's time to go.
Yes.
If they start tapping Morse code.
He's going to be across the room, just like high kicking towards the door to get my attention. Subtly, though.
Yeah, I'll be very subtle.
Oh, man. So anyway, you're a big New York City comedian now.
Big time.
And by that, you mean I live in New York City. I do call myself a comedian.
Yeah.
And New York City is big.
And New York City is big in size.
Yeah.
Yes.
And time passes.
Does it?
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That way, all of the words in your sentence were interpolated.
Sure. Big sky country. God's country.
Mm-hmm.
The big cannoli, as they say.
Yeah. Easy.
How's that working out for
Sin
you?
City.
New York is good. It's a great city to really figure out whether you want to do something.
Yeah.
It's a good city to go to if you say, I'd like to put myself in the most extreme situation possible and figure out if this is a hobby or something I plan on doing with the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. It's good to, I don't know. It's the same thing. You hear, oh, New York is great. It's a lot of stage time. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Have you had ramen in New York?
I have not been to a ramen place. There's one right by my apartment, but I have eaten a lot of ramen in my apartment.
You should go to a ramen place.
Yeah, I'd like to. I will. I'm a creature of habit that, like, I'll find like 3 places that I like, and that'll be it forever.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Chipotle, which is apparently owned by McDonald's.
Really?
Also,
Yes.
allegedly, uses child labor.
That's what I hear.
What? Chipotle?
That meat at Chipotle is children.
It's children. It's Soylent Green.
Yes.
Do they use kids to what?
But kids aren't people.
Subsolent.
What are they? What's up
Subsequent.
with the child labor?
This is his thing.
No.
Child labor.
What's up with the I don't know.
This was your point that you brought up. I just brought
okay,
up that
Google.
by McDonald's.
Hey, what was the Chipotle child labor thing?
Here's a result from search.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Chipotle fined for a whopping 13,253 child labor violations.
I thought you were going to say dollars. I was like, that's nothing.
Ordered to pay a fine of nearly 1.4 mil.
Where were the kids?
The kids were after a parent in Beverly, Massachusetts complained that their child had been forced to work at Chipotle past midnight. Further examination of Chipotle employment.
Oh my God.
Discovered.
It's not real children. It's people that are 16 years old probably.
Yeah, 16, 17 years old across the state have been scheduled to work more than 9 hours per day. 48
I was picturing
hours
little kids.
Are you kidding? This is what a child... This is the problem, is that they call this a child labor issue. And it waters down. Now there are children throwing themselves off of buildings, making iPhones, falling into a net, bouncing back up, and they are like,
oh no, you don't.
Back to the line with you.
Like they're being taken from their homes at night by Apple to go make iPhone XRs. And they're calling Chipotle scheduled 17-year-olds to work 9 hours, and this is a child labor. I don't want to be one of those, I don't want to be a boomer. It's like back in my day, But it is ridiculous. I was just... No one cared. No one cared where I was.
Apple's over here with Spider-Man on retainer, making sure no one have any jumpers.
I've got 20-year-olds that work for me that will literally kill for more than 20 hours a week, and these 16-year-olds are being handed 50-hour-a-week working situations.
What do you mean they're working 9 hours? So they were working after school?
It says they were working past midnight.
And which is, I know, when you have a work permit, it's a violation.
Yeah.
Because I'd always have to work. I remember that was great, because you'd be like, can't work past midnight, can't work past 11:30. And then you have your driver's permit, or your junior license, whatever, and you couldn't drive past a certain time.
Yeah.
So you had to get called off by then.
I remember how liberating it was once you could drive past a certain time.
Yeah.
Even though you usually didn't have any reason to be out
at that
nowhere
to be. I had nowhere to be for a long time. But that's, neither here nor there.
I won't get into that.
But, God, it's crazy that's a child labor issue.
Yeah.
Technically, which is the best kind of correct?
If that's the case, then those kids... I want to see proof that they're still children.
Those minors should unionize.
I want to see some high chairs in their houses. I want to see them being tucked in. I need proof that they're kids and not vape smoking, Ritalin, Adderall taking monsters that are hate their parents.
Who are going to be up till 3 in the morning anyways.
Exactly. Those kids are blowing more lines of Adderall than the Wolf of Wall Street. So they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I was really kind of disappointed reading that, because I was expecting some sort of 1890s kid stuck in a grinding wheel.
Just shredding lettuce.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
But,
child labor is bad. Man.
Truly. Make child labor great again, really.
I don't know that child labor ever had a good...
That's our platform these days.
Yeah. Bring it back.
But that's good that it's working out for you. Happy to hear that.
Oh, yeah. New York is good. I mean, it's a good place to be. It's a good place to hone everything. It's still very early in my time there, so it's a hard restart, but it's good. You're totally immersed in it.
You look handsome.
Thanks.
Yeah, beard's coming in great, buddy.
Thank you.
I credit New York with all of that.
Yeah. I mean, what's funny is...
It's keeping you young.
The beard is something that I notice people will say... The last time I saw you didn't have the beard. Or the beard's looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had a beard since I was in college.
I have pictures of you without it. With just the goatee.
With just the goatee. So I almost wonder when people are saying, do they just not remember? Well, I appreciate any compliment that the beard looks good. But I did have someone say, the last time I saw you didn't have a beard. Maybe that's what it was. And I was like, unless you saw me when I was... 17, 18.
Yeah.
I had a beard.
Hey, maybe they did.
Maybe, but I don't think so.
Maybe they were just focused on your beautiful baby browns.
Thank you.
Your brown eyes.
Yeah.
That's what I was
saying. Both of them, not the one, the two.
I'm afraid to shave. I actually had a dream last night that I shaved.
You're recovering.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I heard a little bit about your bee hole.
Yes.
And all the hair that you took out. Did you use electric razor?
No. Straight razor.
Oh, well, at least you didn't nair it.
Chopping motions.
It's just scissors.
Yes. Snip, snip.
Did you put shaving cream down there?
A lot of blood. Why?
Wait, how did you shave it? With an electric razor?
We just went over this.
What did you do? Straight razor?
Yes.
A lot of chopping motions.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you just have a stroke?
No, I mean, did you actually use a straight razor?
Did I actually use a straight razor to shave my butthole?
Well, I would like to know what you used.
I did not shave down there. I shaved the beard.
I thought you shaved your butt.
No.
I thought, weren't we listening to anything about how you shaved your butt?
No, my face.
Oh, man, I thought you shaved your butt.
Are you saying that you think my face is a butt?
No. I thought the podcast
it's the ones you think you know the best.
Where you said you shaved your butthole.
No. You just have butthole on your brain.
People do shave that area, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed. I don't think you're supposed to shave it.
So wax.
You're supposed to wax it.
I would never. I don't mess around.
Kevin knows someone who can do that.
I do. She's a good girl.
Yeah.
Big fan. But they don't. So I guess you have to go to a very special place to get like men
because
b-hole.
they're going to a very special place.
Yeah. No. So it's like most like estheticians will just like whatever. They'll just like wax a girl's b-hole, but like a dude's b-hole's got to be done by somebody different. Probably by like a dude
with that duct tape.
Yeah.
So you shaved your face with a straight razor.
Pussy.
It's a normal razor.
And it hurt.
No. It hurt my pride. Because
took 10 years off his age.
Yeah, and I looked in the mirror and saw John Candy staring back at me.
Oh no.
And I love John Candy. I just don't want to look like him.
Sure. Well, that's good. I mean, it came back good.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to grow back?
About 2 weeks.
Yeah, I had a dream I shaved my beard off too much, and I was like distraught when I woke up.
Oh wow.
I can't shave this. It's too long.
I hate it.
You should shave your mustache.
And just have a beard.
Yes.
And a mustache.
Really, Abe Lincoln it.
Yeah. I would love to rock a mustache one day, but it's also a thing of like, I don't know. I've had this beard for so long. I know how long it took me to grow it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to shave.
It probably wouldn't take as long to regrow. I mean, maybe down here where it's thick.
Yeah, it wouldn't take that long to kind of regrow it, but I don't want to chance it.
Well, I think the thing, maybe not so much with the beard growth, but moving to New York City, because you have to specify. Because if you move to Buffalo, nobody gives a fuck.
Rochester.
But if you move to New York City, I think that's a great excuse for doing a lot of crazy shit. Like you're in a good time period where you can do like a lot of weird shit, and people will just be like, "Oh, well, it's just because he moved to New York City."
Light blue.
Yeah, I don't like to take any risks with my facial hair, or I have a haircut that is too short, and I was considering like maybe I'll just wear a hat this whole weekend. And people say, I have always worn a hat, but
you used to wear a hat all the time.
I know I used to wear a hat a lot, but that was a phase.
A lot. That was back when you just had a goatee.
I was when Collin was rocking a goatee and a backward snapback.
Yeah.
That's
when Collin was channeling real 2003 style.
We had to
in 2013.
We all had to grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
That happens.
That's good. What do you think is the most New York thing that happened to you so far?
I mean, I see a lot of weird people and stuff. I was on the subway the other day, and this lady gone was screaming and swinging her arms, and then there was this Jamaican guy who was trying to calm her down. She was blowing her nose on the floor.
Hegemony.
And I thought she was going to punch myself or one of my friends in the face. She was like swinging her arms right near our face, just screaming. And my buddy was like, "Oh, the next stop is ours." So we get off the train and goes, "No, it's not." And then we just went up a car and got back on. And that was pretty New York. I mean, I've seen people, they defecate in the subways and they...
Good buddy, bad.
But, I don't know. It's not as... It's more just like... There's just a lot going on. It's hard to focus on anything there.
Yeah.
Like, I saw a lady on... Okay, the craziest thing I've seen was... A lady pushing a stroller, Chinese woman, pushing a stroller, walked out into traffic as it was coming through Times Square, almost got hit. She fell in the street with the stroller. Oh, boy. And another woman went and dragged both of them out of the street before the car came.
That's Midtown, baby.
Screaming and like, ah! Like, it was crazy. And I felt nothing. When I'm saying that I looked at them and thought, like, I'm going to watch a child and a mother die. I had my headphones in. I walked past them and I turned to see what was going to happen. I had no instinct to stop, go help. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that just means that I value my time. But
I think it means you're becoming a New Yorker.
I mean, it's crazy how little...
Because you're just like, someone will take care of that.
Yeah, I'm a big someone else will take care of that kind of guy.
Yeah.
I like if there's a spill or a fire or something, it's like, oh, someone will obviously see that.
Yeah.
That's not going to be...
They're not going to put this responsibility on
there's
me.
no way I'm going to be responsible for this.
The last time... Did you have a point?
I wanted to know what misfortune led him to Times Square in the first place.
I was doing some temp work down there.
That'll
Were
do
you
it.
the guy in the Elmo suit?
I was not. I was doing some office, I'm sure, to do some sort of temp work, which I hate doing. I'm a bad temp. Don't hire me.
Bad temp, great perm.
I did a temp job at some real estate company where I was putting together their mailroom after they moved offices. And after the guy that was kind of supervising me left, he was just like, if we have too much stuff, just feel free to throw it out. He's like, I don't want a bunch of excess. I threw so much stuff away that, like, was probably very... Like, I threw bags and bags of, like, packing slips and manila folders. And, like, if I couldn't find a place for it, I was just throwing it out. And no one knew. So he was filling these industrial-sized garbage bags, and I was taking them out for them. And I just didn't want to ask where anything went. And
you don't want to be a burden.
I filed things wrong so many times just because I didn't want to ask what to do. And it's crazy that they would trust me with people's leases and financial documents. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm really bad at it.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's a problem.
Well, I guess you're not getting that job back.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, it's 11:47 at night, so I yawned.
How dare you?
But yeah, I was in Manhattan for some sort of temp work.
Right on. Last time Doug and I were in New York, we met a genius mathematician on the subway.
It's true.
He was a homeless man, allegedly.
Sure.
My favorite homeless man.
But so he was... I feel like a beggar has a negative connotation to it. But he was very aggressive.
He seemed like a shyster.
As, you know...
He's trying to hoodwink people.
Yeah, you know...
That'd be writing to me.
But he started off with asking for... Was it the sum? It was like... He needed like 10 bucks. We'll just say it's 10.
Yeah,
I don't know what the exact, monetary number was, but
right.
It was like, I need 10 bucks. And he was just up and down, but he's very aggressive about it. He's very waspy about it. And then as soon as like
That's a good word for it.
the train comes, and then he's a beautiful minding the entire car. He's getting a total tally, and it's what first started off as, I need $10. I need $10 to get home. As soon as that car comes, it's, if I could get 40 cents in nickels from everybody in this car. And then it's just very much spiraling out of control.
If 18 people could each give me 4 cents, I could have enough money to finally give me some new shoes and change my life for the better.
And,
Wow.
Just went on and
I
on.
like when I don't
We saw him
give
a few
anybody
times.
money, but I like when they come on and they have an act. You know, where it's like good morning, everybody. I do not want to take too much of your time. I am homeless. I am a veteran. I am looking to get my life back together. I've had food poisoning for 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
And then they'll go up and down the train and they'll be like, if anybody can help, please. And then the train will stop. They'll get off. They'll go to another car. They'll do the same thing. And I appreciate the effort and the performance. But I mean, you just don't. It can't make eye contact with it.
See, if someone comes up to me and tells me they've had food poisoning for 2 weeks, what they're really telling me is they're a ticking time bomb.
That's a bad gallbladder.
And I need to put some distance between the two of us immediately.
Yeah.
I have to imagine like doing that as like your hustle and not really being prepared, like homelessness that just grabs you, and you're thrust into a situation where you have to be on a subway car in Midtown with your little 5-minute routine. And I have to imagine it's doing that and then seeing like Hosier busking like on the far end station is like the same as like being a stand-up guy and then seeing like Pete Holmes like just dropping in to do a 5-minute thing. It's like, well, fuck.
Like, I'm putting all this work into it, and this is just something to fill some time for him.
There are a lot of talented musicians, and you just look and you're like, they're playing in the subway, and you're like, there is just too many people trying to do something, and that's why I'm all about the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Let's, we're due for a plague.
You know, if I
gotta
fall,
trim the fat here.
That's on me.
Yeah.
If I fall to it,
It's the end of your worries.
I don't have to say any worry else.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think
just fantasize about that.
Oh, wow. I mean, can you imagine a world where you don't have to worry about ever sending an email again or receiving an email?
Beautiful.
Amazing.
What a beautiful thing.
That's death.
Yeah. I think
that is death.
I think that's why I kind of not prefer LA, but what I like about LA is that like there's so many talented people in New York City. There are so less talented people in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But everybody's got like this dream.
They sure think they're talented.
There's just no action. There's no action to get it done. So, I mean, really, the poll is very muddled.
Well, I like...
But, there's not a lot of star power there.
I visited LA, considered moving there, and about a day and a half I said, if I ever live here, it will be because someone says, you have to move here. You have to move here because we need you for something. But I am of the philosophy of iron sharpens iron. So, like, I went to New York to become a better comic and be better at the business and the whole thing. Where I think you go to New York to get better, you go to LA to get famous.
Yeah.
And
what do you go to Pittsburgh for?
Oh, good cough. See an uncle.
Maybe you don't want to see the sun for a while.
Yeah.
Escape from that.
Well, that's what my dad did.
I do miss Pittsburgh. More than anything, I miss parking lots.
Actually, you go to Weirton to do that. Parking lots, he
Is that
says.
where your dad lives?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well, he hasn't seen the sun in a while, so.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a joke. I can make that joke.
Ask. I mean, should we talk about it?
No, we're talking about parking lots.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody cares. Let's not go back to my
The
stupid
last place
thing.
Kevin saw his dad.
How did you know him growing up?
A little bit.
Oh boy, we're getting into it now.
We're a little bit. I mean, we've got.
Everyone asked what I had to say. Yeah.
We got 13 minutes. I don't know.
You come from a broken home.
Yeah.
So,
My parents are divorced.
Yeah.
Doug's the only
I'm
one
really
with the safe.
sick of the whole, like, oh, my parents are divorced, it ruined. Like, are you crazy? Like, my parents got divorced, and people go, I remember people would be like, don't you wish your parents were still together? No, I do. Like, I can't imagine those two people being married and living in the same house. I'm so glad they divorced when I was young, and I just lived my life that way.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'll echo that.
So much better. Because what happens is you have these lunatics that say, well, wait till the 5 kids leave, and then we'll shatter the reality that they've lived in for 20-some years.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, what? It's great. I mean, they're fighting for your love, and they're trying to buy you over. It's like, oh, you went here with your mother, or we're going here. It's wonderful. I feel no ill will to anybody that, like, if you could blame anything on your parents' divorce, you're the worst. It's so easy. It's so easy to have divorced parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 60% of.
It's just
people.
so common. It's like saying, like, it's like saying
Doug's a minority.
it would be like complaining about if you had like asthma nowadays. It's like, yeah, we're okay. Like, they figured out how to get through that.
Yeah.
Or like someone, it's like maybe 30 years ago that would be an issue. Like 30 years ago, if your parents got a divorce, you'd be like, oh, this is bad. They're a pariah.
Yeah. We can't go to church anymore.
Yeah. Now
Well.
who cares? Bunch of losers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd echo that. I just, like, you saying, like, asthma, like, imagine, like, the people that, like, the guys, the fuck boys, I guess, if you will, of the world that, like, blame, like, having intimacy issues because their parents broke up, but instead of that, being, like, his demons are asthma.
So
you're really batting 1,000.
But I don't know. I think people are so quick to just blame something on something.
Yeah. Well, I think that if your parents break up at an early age, which is the nice way of saying rip your childhood to shreds.
Right.
It's not so much a broken home, but if you never really recognized it in the first place, it's really more like an unbuilt home to begin with.
I mean, I remember my parents together and Christmases and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm sure it was sad when I was a kid. But, like, after a while, you're just like, this is fine.
Yeah, I mean, how else are you supposed to be funny, really?
If nobody cares. Like, your parents' divorce is not the reason that you have to... You need 8 Percocet to get through your day. That's not it. I promise you. That's not the reason you lack personality. You know, it's not their fault.
Yeah, I mean...
It's not. It's your fault.
I mean... My parents are very happy together.
I know, that's great. And lucky you.
Yeah.
Right? You know, you're fine.
You're a sad boy.
Oh, I'm fine, all right.
Yeah. Fragile.
Am I?
Yeah, you're pretty fragile.
All right.
Pretty soft. I want to tell a good Doug story. I'm trying to think of a good one.
Yeah, you're running out of time here.
Well, there's no rush.
Yeah, this seems very strict. But it seems like we have a real tight schedule. Do we have to get to a tangent?
Oh, we have another guest coming on after you, so
sure.
we're going to have to shuffle you out of here.
Let's see here. What's a good Doug story? I'm trying to think of when we were in college.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I don't want to say anything too crazy. But, I mean, we did live together for a year. And then when you weren't my roommate, you were at my... dorm room every day.
Yeah. It was a place to be.
It was.
You guys had a nice TV. And I had no TV.
Oh, man. I remember thinking that you were going to die freshman year because you would come home. On the nights you would go play tennis. You come home at 11:30 at night. Midnight. Whatever it was. I'd be in bed. Nick was in bed. And, you would make yourself like 2 P&Js or like 2 or 3 helpings of ramen, a family-sized thing. You made a family-sized can of SpaghettiOs one day, and it was so disgusting. Like, I almost gagged thinking about it today. The bowl was to the brim of spaghetti. You microwaved it, which is disgusting.
It was always
it smelled. I know, but it was like, why would you bring canned goods? Like, soup is one thing, but SpaghettiOs. It smelled like.
It was a 1 pound can of spaghetti.
Wait, 1 solid pound of SpaghettiOs in front of me.
The grossest thing was when I tried to make 2 packs of Easy Mac together.
Yeah, you made 2, and I just remember you would eat like that at about 11:30 midnight. I think this guy is not going to have an esophagus in the morning. It must just be pure acid coming out of you.
I mean, my stomach would be a nightmare after that.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason why I no longer have an appendix.
Yeah, that,
or at least
and then top it off, your routine at night would be come in, you would maybe take a shower, you would eat 2 sandwiches, 2 helpings of ramen, you were eating for 2.
It just did a whole workout. I was hungry.
Chase it with a half a bag of sour cream and onion chips, and then what would he do? Immediately lay down on his back. It's really good for digesting if you put as much food into your body as you can within 8-9 minutes, and then lay down on your back. It's shocking that you don't have like lasting damage.
I didn't. The really shocking thing was, well, I'd argue that a lack of appendix now could be considered lasting damage, but I actually lost weight that year.
Which is crazy.
I didn't gain the freshman 15. I lost like 5 pounds.
Which is, I don't know how. It must have all just been coming out of you. You must have been taking no nutrients in.
Probably
you must have just not absorbing anything.
I mean, the school food wasn't really helping matters.
Yeah, that was horrible. I do remember the night Doug had a knife pulled on him.
Oh, that was a fun one.
That was fun. We were at a party, and out of just the corner of my eye, I see someone had a knife to Doug. He was back, pushed up against the wall. And we just laughed our way out of it.
Yeah.
We just talked our way out of it as we normally do.
That is what we always do.
All we can do is talk our way out of it. We were not good at any confrontation. We would leave parties if it got too rough. We would, the fire alarm would go off. Remember when the fire alarm went off sophomore year? And
yes.
And I met you outside. I had no glasses on. I had practically no clothes on. I was in gym shorts and a white t-shirt and flip-flops. It was like 30 degrees. I locked myself out. I remember thinking like...
That was the night that the blood was in the stairwell.
Someone poured fake blood in the stairwell.
That was there for a while,
too. It was there for a long time. That was crazy.
Wow.
I just... And those fire alarms...
Because Nick wasn't there that weekend.
Right. And I remember thinking, where is he? And those fire alarms were like being in an air raid. Because the fire alarm would go off and it would flash in your room. It was just a strobe light.
Yeah.
So you'd wake up to this noise. It was a strobe light. And you'd be so disoriented. And you just have to... You'd have to just stumble out into the world.
Yeah.
And wait outside.
Especially
Remember,
if
you set the fire alarm on freshman year?
Oh, that was one time. It was an accident.
You took your popcorn out and waved it in front of the smoke detector. And then we all had to go outside, and everyone was mad. Thank God they didn't say it was us that did it, because everyone already hated us.
Because we were too cool for school.
And, yeah, man.
Remember when the freshman year when the cop came into our room in the morning? Didn't say anything,
yeah,
looked at me and left.
And left, yeah. Remember when the lady brought toilet paper?
Yeah. You were very aggressive about it.
Yelling at them, yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Remember when I fell out of bed?
Do you remember that? Because you almost fell onto mine, didn't you?
I fell into your desk. Yeah, it was crazy.
We had wild times.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a lot of laughs.
You had a big knife under your bed.
Yeah, I still have it. I have a sword under my bed now. If anybody comes looking.
What kind?
But like a little cutlass.
I was really hoping it was a katana.
No, I always wanted a katana. If anybody's listening to this and wants to buy me a katana, you have the... it's an open invitation. First person that buys me a katana will get a personal shout-out from me on Instagram, and I will write a joke about it and credit you.
Does it have to be real, or could it be a toy katana?
No, it should be real.
Should, but doesn't need to be.
If it's not a real katana, I want a real small katana. The little katana.
Like a little letter opener?
Yeah, I like the little swords. They carry
like
the big ones. Yeah. There's 3 sizes. I want one of them. Give me one of them.
One of each.
Yeah. But we did have a lot.
Walk around like a Ronin.
And we went to college. While we were in college, and went to Pitt.
Yeah.
We really just latched on to each other.
Yeah, it was safe. You were safe because you had a big knife.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, Kev?
He's doing press for us right
press,
now.
Yeah.
Do press.
I'm pressing.
Press hard in the paint. I'm trying to think what else I could talk about from our heydays. I mean, we graduated early.
It's true, both of us.
Together. We graduated early. We were graduated together. We were first to be out of school and have a lot of free time. Because neither of us entered the workforce right away. No. Not full-time, at least. And we had part-time jobs, but neither of us entered full-time workforce. Jeez. I'm trying to think, what happened to us after college? What did we do? Did we do anything?
I think we just... No, not really.
I mean, I remember just going down to Oakland still, because we had friends there.
Yeah.
We just continue to go.
Yeah.
Which was fun.
Shut up.
I remember, I always think, man, I miss when I was in college, and then one day I was just like, I could come down here and not be in college.
Yeah.
You don't have to be under the stress of college.
You never age out of going to the city.
Yeah, right. We should go down one day. Yeah. We had a lot of fun. A lot of laughs.
Oh, I know a fun story.
Okay.
When I took you to that reading so I could get extra credit.
You want to tell her?
Sure.
I can fill in.
So, was that? I guess it was sophomore year, I think. As an English major, we had these opportunities to get extra credit by going to like these readings that would happen. And this one was happening like after dinner the one day at a certain time. And we showed up there on time.
Yeah, it was started at 8 o'clock. We probably walked in at 8 o'clock in 5 seconds. One of those things.
And first thing we notice is everyone's already sitting down. Also, there are no open seats left.
There are no seats. But we're in and they've closed the doors.
Yeah, so there's no coming back. And also, all the seats are facing the doors. So it's not like you can just walk in and be like, not for me.
Right.
And bounce out. So we go to the back of the room, sit on the floor because that's all we can do.
Cannot see anything. We cannot see who's speaking. We're looking at the backs of students. I was promised if I went, there was refreshments, there was a cookie table, there was 8 cans of Coke. I got a can of Coke, but I could not open it because it was so quiet in there while they were doing this reading. It would have made a noise. We just sat on the ground, not watching anything. I went to go with you. I went to be with you and support you.
Yes.
And then this woman gets up who spoke with some sort of whistling southern accent.
If for the Family Guy heads out there, just imagine Herbert the pervert.
Right. And she just told graphic stories, I feel like.
There was something about like an electric bush.
Yeah, and like having like intimacy at an old age. It was all very odd. And we were in there for like an hour. And just sitting in the back, not seeing what was going on, listening. It would be like if you were trapped inside a bad audiobook. And they said you can't leave. You're trapped with these headphones on. And you also can't have anything to drink because it's too loud. And don't be comfortable.
The entire time, I am silently, or as silently as I could possibly be, dying of laughter. Because this was like my second or third one of these I went to, and it was nothing like the first two.
Yeah.
And I just look at Collin, and he has this look on his face the entire time, where it's like a smile, but a smile that's brought on when you taste something and it's disgusting, but one of your friends made it, so you're trying to show support.
You don't want to spit it out in front of them and say, good, really, really good.
And it was really a blessing that the readers could not see us, or they would be offended that I was laughing. Literally the moment we sat down.
A lot of crazy things. You and I will say, all our friends that went to Pitt Johnstown, you and I were the only two that ever ventured off to the extracurriculars.
The nightlife.
Yeah, to the, and not like parties by any means, but just of like the student organization things.
We went to a political debate the one time.
We did. We went to a political debate. We dressed up.
We did.
For the political debate.
That's
we
true.
Dressed up. We were like excited to go. That was fun. We would go to breakfast together.
Yeah.
I ran out of dining dollars because of that. I did not budget breakfast every day. You know what it was? Comedians in Cars just came out. I remember thinking breakfast is such a cool meal. And it convinced me to go have breakfast with you every day. And it was probably the reason why I would put on several pounds in college and run out of money. Because I was having an extra meal that I would have just slept through. But yeah, and we went to see improv groups. We saw stand-up.
Oh, jeez.
We saw the Machine Gun Preacher.
Oh, the Machine Gun Preacher.
I have to hear about the fucking Machine Gun Preacher every time we drive to New York City.
He's a machine gun. Because we drive past the
Harley Davidson ranch.
That, like, he owned or whatever, or worked at.
Yeah.
Fucking Deep Valley, Happy Valley, Team Ream.
Oh, God. That's true. Penn State's a cult.
Machine Gun Preacher. What else did we see?
Did you guys ever drive to the big city of Indiana? when you were out there?
I never made it up there.
Oh, I was only in Indiana, Pennsylvania a couple times, and it was not anything.
Nick went up there a few times, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. It's a charming little city.
Yeah, people die there though.
Well, yeah, sure. And I can tell you exactly where, like on what part of the street that they die in.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting.
They always get hit by the same car.
In Johnstown, the only people that died in a massive flood that killed 2,000 people.
And no one has ever died there since.
Opioid epidemic in the city of Johnstown.
That's true.
But we didn't go. We weren't in Johnstown as much as we were near it.
Wow.
But yeah, we did a lot of fun. We went to a lot of fun things together. We have a lot of good lines from college.
That's true.
A lot of good lines.
That is true.
But
Huh.
yeah,
we fell in with an interesting crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of rednecks.
Yeah, we were
a lot of Augie Duggies.
Truly. They probably get that joke.
A lot of people that wanted to be nurses and engineers. There was big nursing school, big engineering.
Oh,
and none of them were qualified for it.
And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
But we did have fun.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
We did have fun, and we tried.
And that's really, when you go to college, that's what's important.
Yeah.
You gotta have fun.
Yeah. What are you really there for?
Fucking education.
We walked into. Remember, we just kind of assimilated ourselves into that one party when Nick was gone. We just said, "Hey, we're coming."
Yes.
Kasoko wasn't there. A friend of ours had and who cares? Nobody cares.
They were friends with us too, though.
At this point. But I'll tell it for myself.
Yes.
So we went. Yeah, like our one buddy who was friends with.
Oh, you'd be surprised what people listen to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. People in France are like, "What's this place?"
Basically, two of our friends that made us mutual acquaintances to everybody else in this house were out of town or at another party. And we were like so bored, we were like, let's just go and say hi. They know us kind of, they know who we are. We went there, we had a great time.
It was
the
one
life
of the
the party.
Yeah.
It was one of the funnest. We just walked in and everyone was like, whoa, what are you guys doing here? Yeah, sure, come in.
Yeah.
And we had a hoot. We had that's the night we went to McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
You drove some guy's car and he tried to get a gun out of it.
Yeah, because the gun was under the driver's seat. And he called me Doug Funny.
That's
constantly.
original.
Yeah.
And it was something like, you want to see something really funny, reach under your seat. And I was pretty certain of what was under the seat. So I was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. And then he reached under the seat. Or was trying to, but my legs were in the way because I was driving his car.
Yeah, it was real fun.
And then someone got an absurd amount of ketchup at McDonald's.
Yeah, Brad.
Beautiful Brad.
And
who saved Colin's life.
Man, it's so
one
funny.
day.
It's so funny.
You almost died that one time. I don't think I was there for that when you got in the fight.
Yeah.
And by that I mean there was a fight. They just assimilated Colin because he was nearby.
I was nearby and a fight broke out that I was kind of in, and this guy Brad, beautiful Brad as we called him, literally pulled me out of it by my waistband.
He was like, "Whoa there, young fella."
He just pulled me out, and I was like, "Thank God," because I would have died.
You would have.
Yeah.
I wonder where he's at.
That's funny.
We had fun, and we continue to have fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Well,
man,
I guess we can start the wrapping up process, huh?
Is there anything else you want to address? Is there anything else you want to address?
No, I just, for giggles, do you have a fun road story to leave us off?
From the comedy scene.
I wish you would have asked me this. I have more than one. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Okay, I'll give you two or three options. You tell me which one. I did a high school prom. I did a fashion show.
Oh.
Or I did a show where I ended up being for a Coke dealer.
All right, Doug, you want to convene on this one, or what do you think?
I'm pretty sure I've heard all of these, and they are all great stories.
Okay. So which one do we not want? Just take one off the board.
Say them again.
High school prom, fashion show, Coke dealer.
I think fashion show and Coke dealer stay.
Okay. So you be fashion show, I'll be Coke dealer. We're gonna rock, paper, scissors, okay?
I mean, you could always just edit anything. If you had to make this short, I could tell both, and you could just edit out what
You can tell both, and we'll keep them in.
All right.
Our longest episode was like 2 hours and 4 minutes.
What are we pushing?
1 hour.
I'll just tell both quick.
Okay.
All right. You can tell all three if you'd like.
That's all right. Okay, the prom. I'll start with the prom one. We'll work up to Coke dealers. So
isn't that how it always works?
It really is.
Montour represent.
Yeah. So I got a call when I was like maybe a year into comedy. I was said yes to anything, and I just got a call from a friend of my dad's, and he just said, "Hey, I want to hire you as a comic to do a show." It's kind of like a different thing, but my daughter, it's her prom, and want to have like something funny, and we want you involved, and I just blindly said yes, and I told him just give me $50, which was criminally low, and he said, I need you for about 45 minutes to be with us. I said, yeah, sure. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I meet them at Phipps Conservatory. I get to Phipps Conservatory. He says, well, you get there before me. He shows up, and he tells me the plan is that he's bringing his daughter and her 6 friends to Phipps Conservatory, which is a big greenhouse, to take pictures for their prom, their high school prom. And I'm supposed to follow them around and tell jokes. And I mean, you're like,
oh my God,
what? Like, when you start to hear it, you're like, no. What? Like, and then I find out that he has not told them. This is a surprise. So he pulls up in a big black SUV. He gets out, he's in a tuxedo. I'm sitting on the bench outside of the conservatory. His daughter comes out, her friends, all dressed in gowns. They're all like, the parents are there, they're very excited. He walks up and he goes, hey, it's my buddy Collin. He's a comedian. He's going to entertain us a little bit. Go ahead. And then she says, go ahead, is to like start the show. So I'm standing outside. I'm doing crowd work. I'm just like, oh man, homework, huh? Homework stinks. God, I hate homework. Algebra. When do they start putting all these shapes into this? And just like, it's so bad. It's so bad. And then we go into the conservatory, and we get on an elevator, and I'm just pushing buttons on the elevator, like just thinking that'll be funny. I'm making dumb jokes. I'm finding like dumb little things to hand them. Like they had like kid toys for one part, so I'm just handing them all toys to be like, so I'll get a picture with the goofy toys. And I'm like photobombing them. I mean, essentially what he was looking for was a clown.
Yeah.
He was looking for a birthday clown or someone to make balloon animals, and instead he got a comedian with 1 year experience. And it was so bad that one of the moms finally said to me, we would like to get some serious photos. Please leave them alone. Like, because I was ruining all of their pictures, is what she was telling me. And
that's what you were there for.
Yeah, eventually he just said, a tough crowd, huh? And gave me my $50, and I left. And it was, I'm not kidding, like, I drove from that to another show, and I just thought, like, what have I done? What has led me to this? It was a real high and a low at the same time.
Yeah.
And then the other story is about, we did this show out of north of Pittsburgh, and it was at this big hotel banquet hall. And it's for this guy who owns the banquet hall and books stuff there, and it's a Christmas party kind of thing. It's like a big party that we go in. There's raffle tickets, and we're eating dinner in this big conference room, all this good Italian food. And they say, okay, Collin, you're going to start the show. You'll MC. Okay. And there's this guy, I don't want to say his name, but he's walking around in a suit coat selling raffle tickets. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what time are we starting the show? Is there any announcements he wants me to make? And he's very just like, forget about it kind of guy. And at one point, he's making some jokes about people need to buy more raffle tickets. And he just says, like, hey, don't mess with me. He yells at somebody and opens up his coat jacket to reveal he has a handgun just in his waistband. It's right there. And So, all right, so that's alarming. And then he's like selling raffle tickets, and he's like, "We're gonna start right now." So he goes up on stage and goes, all right, you guys everyone be quiet, we're gonna have some comedy, make sure you buy tickets, and we're gonna have the raffle later, and all right, what do you say, ready to do this, Connor? Come on up there, Connor. Now, if you're not listening closely, my name is Collin, and he's now called me Connor, so I have a lot of jokes about myself, so now I'm like, am I gonna correct him, am I just gonna go by Connor? And I started doing like crowd work. I'm bombing horribly. The guy is walking around selling tickets during my set. He's yelling. He's like, "Who needs two? Who needs 2 tickets?" And I'm like being like, so it's so funny when you go to McDonald's and they're like, "Here's your order," and it's like, "Oh, thanks," like it's just horrible. It was going so bad. And I'm trying to work the crowd, and the crowd is rowdy, and I'm like, "What do you do for a living, sir?" And he's like, "I'm a steam fitter." And he's like, "What do you do?" He's like, "I'm in plumbing." And you're like, okay. And so then I go to bring on the next comedian, and he's nowhere to be found. My buddy Ray is telling me from the back, he's giving me the hand signal to stretch. He's telling me to stretch, and I am out of material. I have no more material to do. So what do? I go back into the crowd. I'm talking. I'm just like, "Oh, yeah, you look silly. You guys, I'm a big loser, right? Look at me, big dumb idiot." Like, I'm just sabotaging myself. So then the guy that's next, he comes barreling through the door. He's like, "I'm here." I'm like, okay, keep it going for Tony. Tony goes on stage, and I'm like, what is going on here? This guy's selling raffle tickets. He has a gun. These people are all crazy. And we put it together. And the guy who booked us was a huge coke dealer for the Pittsburgh area. And not only that, but these were all like his friends and clients, and there was some connection with organized crime, and like we're like sitting in this hotel conference room, like, what are we doing here? Like, this guy's a gun. This is a coke dealer. We haven't been paid. We're like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, he called me Connor. I made fun of him. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. So eventually, the next comic goes up, and the crowd's getting more rowdy, and then the last comic goes up, and a fight breaks out during the last comic set. The last comic, his mom's in the crowd, she can't hear, she's telling this other lady to be quiet. This fight breaks out, breaks into the hotel lobby. Now the hotel's like, we're calling the cops. Like, nobody call the cops, everybody get back in here. We get our money, I go to a back door, I'm like, I'm leaving right now. I left as quickly as I could get the money and got out of there. And I just remember thinking, there is no way they could ever do this again. And they booked comedy shows there for a year. Like, they had a monthly show there and I was like, this is horrible. This is the worst place. Oh, it was so bad. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, those are 2 stories.
That's amazing.
To have been in that audience.
It was crazy. Like, I just remember thinking, when I was on stage, I'm bombing so hard, and there's nothing I can do to save it. These people don't want to hear me. And this guy's just screaming over me about tickets. It's like, he does not want me here.
It sounds very Italian.
Yeah, it was it was like we interrupted a party. They should not have had comedy. But, yeah, it was, at the moment, it was not fun. And it's fun to look back on, but like, you're like, man, I can't. It's just.
Well, I think that's how most good stories go.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's probably hell on earth.
I think I made $30.
Those are the joys of the road.
Hey, I've been saying it.
He's been saying it.
He gets it.
He does. Real ones now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as per tradition, it's always best to just skip the last 20 minutes of our episodes to get the good content.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have to put that in front.
But
people listen to us.
Good.
In France, they do.
Yeah, and Germany.
And one person in Germany.
If you are listening right now, send us a tweet or an Instagram to our Instagrams or Twitter, so we know that you actually have heard this.
Yes.
And if that's the case, we'll do something nice for you. We'll send you something from Doug's house.
There's a lovely 2015 snow globe that I'm looking at.
Yeah, we noticed you don't have Lindor truffles, but he does have. What do you have?
I have mini Hershey bars.
So there you go. It's just as good. It's just as good. But hey, you know what? I usually ask this to Doug, but I'm going to ask Collin because you're our guest and you're a friend of the pod and we love you.
Be our guest. Be our guest.
Did you have fun tonight?
I had a blast.
Good.
It was a lot of fun. You guys have a great podcast. I wish you nothing but success. A little bit of pre-show scheduling might help.
Wow, he's going to critique us.
No,
I'm
kidding. I like the free form.
Let me ask you a follow-up question.
Please.
Would you come back?
I would love to come back.
There you have it.
I would like to. I would be a regular guest if I could.
We can make it happen.
We probably could make it happen. We could Skype you.
Yeah.
We could FaceTime you.
Yeah.
We could write you letters, and you could write us letters, and we would read those letters.
In your voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would do our best impression.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I'm Collin. This is my letter to the poor.
As a Jewy Fred Armisen character.
Because you're from New York, so you have a New York accent now.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
All right.
You're from New
I would
York.
love to come back. This is
Good.
a lot of fun, and I hope everybody listens.
I'm sure.
Everybody does.
Well, I mean, since we're going to plaster your name a la Robin Williams to Aladdin all over this shit,
Yes.
I'm sure
I
we'll
think there's been some misunderstanding about how my career is going.
our subscribers are going to boost. And we're
At
gonna be
him, at Collin_comedy.
2 L's, important.
Yeah,
2 L's.
Yeah.
Colin.
Oh, that phony with the one L.
Graham.
That's also Collin.
CollinComedy.com, which I don't have anything up on. If you want to, I don't know.
Yeah.
You should put some nudes up there.
That's working well. Feet pics work well these
Yeah.
days.
Pics.
Feet pics.
Show feet.
Pics.
Show feet.
If anybody's listening in Omaha, I'll be at the Omaha Funny Bone.
There you go.
Yeah.
February 22nd, 23rd, 24th, something like that.
Yeah. Well, the
If
people in
anybody is
Illinois might
We'll get
LA,
those dates.
If anyone's in LA, the last weekend of February, I'll be in LA. Actually, the last week of February, I'll be in LA and San Luis Obispo.
Abizbo.
So
Oh.
come see me there.
Okay.
All right, bad news. There's no one listening in Nebraska.
That's okay.
But there's still time.
I hope so.
That's still time. Well, then, that being said, I think that it's safe to say that I've been Kevin.
It is safe to say that.
You know?
It's equally safe to say, and Collin knows this, that I have always been Doug.
Mm-hmm.
And who are you?
I'm Colin.
All right.
See? Right to the
I'm
point.
so happy
You love it?
that Colin is here right now.
I'm so happy
Guys.
Collin's here, too. I'm so
is
glad
good.
you could
Thank
make
for
it.
This is
having
good.
me.
This
Thank
is
you
a
for
good time.
holding for me.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, I think then, that being said, remember, invite us to your parties.
Yes.
And what else do we usually...
I think that's it.
Yeah,
You
it's
just-
basically just an elongated version of that.
Yeah.
Keep on rocking.
Yeah.
Any event, really.
Really.
Bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, I
mitzvahs.
mean, anything. Just no cocaine-fueled Marriott parties.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I think we
If
could
Doug
have
goes,
some
I
fun.
legally have to go. But
Was there a dance floor there, Collin?
Probably somewhere.
Then I would
I
find it.
didn't
all
see
right,
it.
all right. Well, then in that case, thanks for listening, and then we got an exciting couple of months lined up, boys.
We do.
We're going in the right direction here.
Did you say goys?
I did say goys.
Okay.
I went to say guys, and I went to say boys at the same time, but it came out goys.
Fellas!
So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.